Hey guys, this is Abate, back to the station, back to your people, and back with a new video. Today in this video I'll be talking about 5 different GRE high frequency vocabularies. Hopefully you'll find this video pretty helpful. So don't move anywhere else until I get back right after the break. Stay tuned now. Alright, so let's get the ball rolling. Number 1. Abate. Abate means to reduce, moderate, lessen, shorten, cut down, whatever you call it. Subside. So if you see somewhere, it's written like, the budget needs to be abated, which means the budget needs to be reduced, or the budget needs to be what? Cut down. Alright, so if your budget last year, let's say, was 100 crore, and this year you are seeing like your budget is only 50 crore taka for something, whatever the reason may be. So what's happening right here? You abated 50 crore taka on your budget, which means you cut down 50 crore taka. Let's now look at an example so that you could get to have a pretty good understanding on this word. The video abates your headache. This video abates your headache, because it's a word, maybe the meaning was pretty unknown to you. Therefore right now, because the meaning is getting clear, headache is gone, something like that. Alright, so there is another example given right here. If the rain abates, we'll get out. So let's say it's raining out there and you're ready to go out and meet your friends, but just because it's raining you cannot think of getting out. So what you are coming up with, like if the rain gets abated, which means like if the rain gets little off, in that case definitely you would be able to get out and chill. So if I want to give it a quick recap, I must say like to abate is to what? Reduce, is to minimize, is to lessen, is to shorten, is to cut down, whatever it is. Got my point? Alright guys, now let's talk about the second one. Gainsay. It's gonna be way clear. Like if I say something like this: you gainsay, you protest, you talk against. So definitely there are people who don't like your ideas, right? All the time. Whatever you share, definitely there are people to talk against your opinion. Isn't it? So if it is true, that means they are gainsaying against what? Your thoughts, right? So against is not necessary once you use gainsay in a sentence. So you gainsay someone's opinion, which means you talk against their opinion. So you gainsay means you protest. So gainsay equals protest. Okay. Let's now look at an example so that we could get to have a pretty good understanding like the one we did before. The negative impacts of plastics cannot be gainsayed. Is it true? Plastic is injurious to health, not only health but also to our society, our environment and whatnot. Right? I mean, eventually it gets to be harmful for everything. Right? For our life as well. Anyway, so it's a fact. You cannot deny, right? You cannot oppose. So if you cannot oppose, if you cannot deny, you cannot gainsay, right? Gainsay means to deny, to oppose, right? To protest. Got my point? So if you talk against a fact, a statement, it means you argue. You talk against that statement. You gainsay. So do not gainsay a fact, because a fact is fact. It's taken. It's a proved one. I mean, there is nothing to gainsay. Got my point? It's a fact. Smoking is dangerous to health. It's a fact. You cannot gainsay. So plastic is dangerous to your environment. It's a fact. You cannot gainsay. You cannot oppose, you cannot dispute. So what do we call? This is how the meaning of gainsay is. Alright, should I move to the next topic now? Thank you. Alright, number 3, disseminate. Disseminate means to spread out information, knowledge, opinion, whatever it is, widely. So once you do it, widely, it comes up to dissemination. Let's now look at an example so that we can get to have a vibe out of it. YouTube is a very good platform to disseminate information, knowledge, experience across the globe. Isn't it true? Isn't it true? Am I not using YouTube to, share my experience, share my understanding on this world with you all? Isn't it? Yeah. So that's how YouTube gets to be a big platform to disseminate information, knowledge, experience, opinion, and whatnot. Got my point? So that's how dissemination works. So if you disseminate, it means you spread out information or whatever it is widely. You circulate widely. Got my point? So moving to the next topic. Number 4. Chicanery. It's a funny word, but it's a negative one. It sounds funny, but it's a negative one. I don't like it. Now you might have this question like, why don't I like this word? Such a fascinating word. No, it's not fascinating. It's a negative one. It leads to negativity. Chicanery refers to a fraud, a deception. Now how does a fraud or a deception happen? Definitely you think of bad strategies, you implement, and accordingly somebody gets to be your victim, isn't it? So a fraud, a deception, a chicanery, they're all same. They are all called to be noun and they mean the same thing. Got my point? So chicanery is all about coming up with a fraud. So don't do chicanery. Don't do a fraud. Don't do a deception with people who trust you, who love to rely on you. Got my point? So chicanery refers to a fraud. Don't do fraud. So let's get to look at couple of examples so that we could get to have a pretty good understanding once again like the ones we did before. Please do not do chicanery. Yeah, don't do a fraud. Don't do a chicanery with people. Nobody appreciates a chicanery. Do you think if you do a fraud, people would appreciate that? No. There's nobody to appreciate such an act. Got my point? So if I want to give it a quick recap, it's nothing but a fraud. A chicanery means a fraud. Thank you. Moving to the next one. Alright guys, we have come to the final word. Okay? The final one is latent. Latent means something that is hidden, that is concealed, something that is invisible, inactive right now. So something that is invisible, inactive, hidden, definitely right now it's not possible for you to experience that thing, right? Realize that thing, touch that thing, see that thing, right? Because it's hidden, it's inactive, it's sleeping right there. But in afterwards, at any time, it could be active, it could be seen, it could be experienced, and whatnot. So such kind of stuff are called to be what? Latent. Let's now come up with a couple of examples so that you could get to have a pretty good understanding on it, like the ones we did before. Alright, are you with me? Come up. Mr. Korim has got latent talent. What does that mean? Let's say Mr. Korim could sing, but right now you cannot believe it, because he has got, he doesn't have that much of a fascinating tone. Got my point? But in afterwards, if he keeps practicing, definitely he might be able to get you surprised with a tone that you never imagined. Right? Latent talent. Let's say Mr. Korim, you never thought like Mr. Korim would be able to count this, this much faster. All right. But in afterwards, definitely he could prove that he could count, way faster than he thought. Got my point? So this is how it is. You could think of latent treasure. You could think of latent anger. You might think of someone like, he or she has got no anger, but there could be latent anger, and in afterwards at any time it could be exposed. Who knows? Something like that. So something that is hidden, that is concealed, that is invisible, inactive, you call that thing a hidden thing, a latent thing. Got my point? So something that is latent, it is hidden, concealed. Okay, should I repeat any more time? Alright, I'm not gonna repeat. Thank you so much guys for watching this video till now. Hope you found this video pretty helpful. If so, don't forget to subscribe this channel because your subscription matters. If you subscribe, it would mean me a lot, and accordingly many more such kind of quality content will be available in this channel because I'd be way motivated. So thank you so much once again. If you have got any suggestions, recommendations, do come with your recommendations as well, because based on that I could come up with my videos as well, and that's what I do. If you comment, I get through, and accordingly production happens. Alright, thank you so much.